Can you feel it? Feel it? Feel it? I'm feeling good. Both my Rumble picks won. I'm feeling hella good right now. I'm the GOAT. I think I'm gonna change my name to the GOAT. Might have to. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts on the Block 105. Also YouTube Wrestling Talks and Thoughts, Facebook Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. How y'all doing today? I am your host, Jay McMain.
And I'm your disappointed co-host, the Big Bad Booty Daddy himself, man.
I'm kind of with you, bro. I'm very disappointed. This your boy Travo in the building once again.
Disappointed? Why are you disappointed?
Is that who I think it is?
Why am I disappointed? Cody won the Rumble, and there was no Sable. Cody won the Rumble, no Sable, yo.
Well, yeah.
Well, we all knew Cody was gonna win. That was given.
But you got Nia. You got Nia back.
Yeah, got Nia back. So something good came out of that.
And you got Brock. I mean, you got half of the Sable household.
Yeah.
And Uncle Howdy botched one of the biggest moments of the year.
That wasn't a botch, man. And no matter what, man, it is what it was extended to do.
All right, Jermaine Every in the building. What up, house? What's going on, Jermaine?
I'm gonna tell you why I'm disappointed. That whole bloodline plug pull too early, way too early.
No.
I explain. That's your opinion. I'm gonna give my opinion out.
Oh, that's right, Henry. And so for you guys that don't know, Henry and Trav been going at it all day. Yeah, was it yesterday? About their opinions on
it's been 2 days now.
Yeah, about the bloodline storyline and the bloodline saga. So now we get to see it play out live in front of all.
Let me introduce myself. I am the. Oh, we already did the intro already or nah?
Yeah, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, introduce yourself, sir.
I'm the IWC villain Henduce. I'm here to argue. Man.
Can we please start the show off with this bloodline stuff? I want to get to this.
Do you think?
Huh? All right. So, Mr. Henry, you say it wasn't too early. You say it was perfect. A lot of y'all said it was perfect timing in the thing. Let me ask you this, right? So we seen Sammy join the bloodline how many months ago? About 6, maybe 8 months ago, right?
6 months.
6 months, right? So for 4 months, Jey Uso did not accept him into the bloodline, right? 4 months. Jey just accepted Sammy 2 months ago for War Games, right? So now you got the whole bloodline together. You got Sammy accepted. A week or two later, Roman had doubts about Sami Zayn, right? So now, all of a sudden, you pull the plug on Sammy, which you could have rolled it out for a little bit longer. It didn't have to go to WrestleMania. It could have, but you could have rolled it out a little bit longer. And now you never seen the bloodline fully functional with Sammy in there and everybody's on one accord. We got to see it for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. We never got to see it in full-fledged because they rolled out the storyline of Jey Uso not accepting Sami Zayn for 4 months. 4 months. Solo came in and accepted him the same night. And you're telling me that we didn't pull the plug too early? We never got an official chance to see Sammy and the Usos and the bloodline work together, and nobody had any type of problem. Every other week, there was a problem.
I tend to disagree because if you think about it, Jey embraced Sammy at Survivor Series, which is back in November. So you had November, December, January.
No. Jey embraced Sammy at War Games.
Right, which is
with
Survivor Series,
November, December,
right.
It's January, bro.
4 months.
2 months.
But you can't blame that on them. You got to blame that on the part-time champ Roman who shows up when he wants to. You know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is, But what I'm saying is, you never got a chance to see it together. We never got a chance to see it put together and mush. Is it like, okay, it's just like this right here. And I hate to do this, but let's go to basketball for a second. If you take LeBron, you take AD, and you take, let's just say, AD and KD, and you put them together for 3 games, you're going to be pissed off. Fans are going to be pissed because they didn't get to see it much.
Look, that already happened, bro. For my Brooklyn Nets, we had a 3-headed monster.
I was
and we
about to
only
say
played
that.
16 games, man.
Right.
And
But I'm saying, aren't you disappointed that you only got to see 16 games?
I am, but at the same time,
Okay.
it's somebody. Let me explain. At the same time, it's like Harden. He didn't want to be in Brooklyn, so he dipped. This is what happened when the IWC tries to hijack everything, and they got Sammy 2 over.
Oh, God.
Either you're gonna do it too soon or too late. They did it at the right spot. They did it at the right time. They did the Tribal Chief Core thing.
No.
You have to wait. What are you gonna wait? What are you gonna wait? Somebody said wait another 8 months. I wish they would have gone a whole year with Sammy. I like Sammy in the bloodline, but they didn't. They pulled the trigger when they had to, and they did it perfectly.
I don't know, Trav. I think you have selective memory because if you think about it, the bloodline was strong because if like maybe like 2-3 weeks straight, they started off Raw and SmackDown with dominating the locker room. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if that's not strong,
but that was wait. We talking about a 6-month span, and we talking about 2 or 3 weeks that they got to be together. That's not strong. That's not strong. It's just like I feel like, honestly, and I can say honestly, I feel like Triple H pulled a Vince McMahon. He put something special together and pulled the plug on it too early. And I get it. The storyline. Wait. Let me say this. The storyline they put together and breaking them up was fire. I love the storyline. I have no problem with the storyline. I have no problem how it went down. I have a problem with timing. Timing is everything. Nobody got to see the bloodline together.
What was the perfect timing when you had Sammy's best friend against the bloodline?
He wanted to wait the night before Mania. That's what he wanted.
He wanted to
Who, me?
Oh wow. Let
okay.
shine.
He wanted to have it on Sunday Night Heat.
I would have loved it on Sunday Night Heat too. But hey, let me ask you this. What if you did wait till, let's say you did wait till Mania, right? Let's just say they did wait till Mania. What would it hurt it if Sammy, let's just say he did it the night before he fought Sammy, right? He came out, and they had that, and whatever match Roman is going to have, because we know he's going to have 2 matches. He came out, Roman put him to the test and had him to try to turn on whoever he was fighting at the time, right? And then the next night, he came out and helped Cody win the damn title. It's so many variables they could have deal with that storyline, and they could have extended it out.
Why help Cody? Why help Cody at WrestleMania when they need a clean win? Cody's gonna get a
clean
win.
Cody, what's the connection with that?
It's not gonna be no clean win because they already said they plan on stripping Roman. They're not planning on him losing. So however they plan on stripping him, that's what they're gonna do. Because they don't want Roman to lose. They don't want Roman to lose, so they're talking about stripping Roman. They're not talking about having him lose to Cody Rhodes. We're gonna see some BS at WrestleMania.
Triple H invested so much on Cody right now.
Yeah, right. He's pinning Roman, bro.
I get that, bro.
And I'm a Roman fan. Keys, tell
I get that. I get that. But I'm telling you, bro, the story.
Put the title on Cody. I don't make no sense.
Now, I would say this.
Travis,
I would say this. I don't know if Triple H is going to change it because, when stuff leaked, now he's changing as stuff leaks. So I don't know if he's going to change it, but the storyline is being that they're planning on stripping Roman, not having Roman to lose. So Roman could lose because, I don't know if y'all been reading.
Why would they strip him, though? For no reason?
I don't know. All I know is they said that they do not want Roman to lose yet. That's all I know. I can't tell you why.
I mean, him not losing now makes sense, but you know what I'm saying, Mania is a whole different monster, and you can't, like I said, as much pop and as much popularity and as much momentum that Cody has, and to add to it, he is still undefeated. to go into Mania, you know what I'm saying, with all that momentum, winning the Rumble to get the title handed to him, that wouldn't make any sense at all. So
it wouldn't.
This is why I would say he's not getting Roman's not getting stripped and Cody's winning him clean, because Cody is a smart guy. He came back, and I bet you had some deals on that contract for him not to do dumbass gimmicks, for him to win the Rumble, for him to win the gold, so that he could finally sign. He would have just stayed to AEW for all that shit.
Right, and if you think about it, he said in his promo, he was like, he's the only Rhodes to ever win the Rumble, which is true. And he's the only Rhodes to actually go on to be, you know, heavyweight.
I have no problem with what y'all saying. I don't care if you win, lose, or get stripped. It doesn't matter, because we saw the writing on the wall months ago about the bloodline. But what I'm saying is, in my opinion, Sammy was that trigger was pulled too early for me. I would have loved to see Sammy another month or two, maybe 3 months with the bloodline, and let the bloodline show its dominance. Because once you pull that title from Roman, understand that head of the table talk gotta come all the way down.
Let's say Travis that it does happen. Let's say that. What perfect spot if they would have went to a SummerSlam, if they would have kept going, they would have had to bring KO back in the storyline. And I'm already tired watching Roman Reigns versus KO. We've seen it almost about 4 times, 5. It's almost like Randy Orton versus John Cena at this point.
Wait. Why couldn't you put? Let me ask you this: Why couldn't we put KO versus KO and Sami Zayn to put the friction in it at WrestleMania? KO versus Sami Zayn against the Usos for the title. Why we couldn't create that friction? I'm not saying that's a good storyline, but I'm saying why we couldn't create that friction. Like, okay, well, we see how we see how Sammy reacts to Kevin Owens when he fighting him or he getting beat up. They could have made a match where they were like, well, Adam Pearce could have been like, yo, we're gonna do this at WrestleMania because we really don't have we're gonna create a tag team title match or something, and it's gonna be KO versus Sami Zayn versus the Usos for the Raw titles, because they're gonna lose one of their titles as well, because as everybody know, USA is pissed off about all the titles being on Fox. So why not? We could have did that to create friction. That's just creating friction.
Hold on. Let me kind of break down for this for you, Trav. So basically, what you just completely like 180 over everything you just said. Because okay, one, we're on the road to WrestleMania, obviously. 2, you said it was too early to break up the bloodline with Sammy in it, but then you want Sammy and KO to fight the Usos. That can't happen if Sammy's still in the bloodline.
No. So, that's not what I'm saying. Wait. What I'm saying is, haven't we seen people together, right? And we've seen them have to break off from their group and fight one another, right? We've seen that in the past. I can't call a group that did it, but I'm just saying, like, I remember it was one group, they was all together, and then one night they was like, okay, well, you and you gonna fight this person, and this person was actually in the group. Yeah, that could have caused friction at the next pay-per-view. Yeah, at WrestleMania, it could have been wide open. I mean, I'm not saying drag the storyline out another 6 months.
He's probably talking about like authorities. Remember the authority when the Shield had to face DX and Kane, and they were still in the authority, and then at the end of the night, the Shield became a babyface. Well, in the beginning of the Raw after WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be right back.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's I'm trying to like follow like his storyline. You know what I'm saying?
I can't follow that storyline. It's too much.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why
2 days left to WrestleMania.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And that's why it makes sense. Okay, you got Elimination Chamber. Okay, Sammy versus Roman. Then, you know what I'm saying, Roman beats Sammy. Now Sammy feels this type of way, you know what I'm saying? So now him and KO again, you know, goes against the Usos for the tag titles. That makes sense because again, as I told Trav minutes ago, like you can't have Sammy and KO team up to go against the Usos with Sami still in the bloodline. That makes no sense. That's like having Finn Balor and Damian Priest go against Dom and somebody, you know, in a tag team title tournament or whatever. That doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be in a faction and fight your faction mates. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that's confusing with, you know what I'm saying, with how Trav wants his storyline to go. But enough of that. So besides, you know, him feeling type of way about the bloodline storyline, like overall, what do you guys think about the Rumble?
I actually liked it. I actually liked it, man. I actually liked it. I mean,
I don't care who mad about how
the perfect person was supposed to win it, and that's it. Who else was going to win it? Gunther?
Yeah.
Gunther was supposed to win it? Bro, yeah, that's the IWC right there. IWC right there.
Yeah, IWC, baby.
So what does the IWC got to do?
IWC, boy.
One to the end. He lasted the longest out of anybody.
Want their guys to win.
He did the longest out of anybody, bro. Cody was in there for 10 minutes.
Cody's a part of the IWC. Just because he started at WWE and left, and now he's back. He's technically an IWC wrestler now.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Gunther should have won. Gunther had an amazing Royal Rumble. And
he did what he had to do.
And he's going to get a great push going forward, of course, which is dope.
But
he's winning next year's Rumble.
He should win. Not right now.
He doesn't need it right now. He doesn't need it right now. Because like you said, IWC. Like
bro,
you said,
Cody beating Roman don't make sense. It don't look right. What are we talking about here?
Thank you, Sean.
Believable.
Cody versus Roman doesn't look right.
Bro, Cody
versus Roman doesn't look right.
Beating Roman is not believable.
Hollywood.
It's not.
We're going to Hollywood.
It's not believable.
Been in television. Looks like an actor versus somebody from UK that nobody in the country, like WWE fan, not saying indie fans, WWE fans, know Gunther. Like
what?
That.
Read the comment, man. Read the comment, man.
No.
Did you not hear the pops Gunther did?
Hold on, let him read the comment real quick, guys.
That's the pop. That's the pop.
Let him read the comment real quick.
Let me get the comments real quick. All right, so Jermaine Every says, Bloodline needs opposition from the outside to keep the story going and interesting. Who is left to keep it fresh and believable? Then he says, opposition from within keeps it interesting and gives us what we've been waiting for.
Hey, can I answer that question?
Oh, and so do say I think Jermaine is asking you.
No. What I'm saying is, first of all,
hell no.
I don't know what you said.
I was on mute this whole time, letting you spew that bullshit.
Y'all all got some bullshit, but I can agree one thing is the fact that wait. I can agree with you with one thing is the fact that Cody beating Roman does not believable. But to answer that question it's not. But to answer his question, what he said in the comment section was, honestly, nobody was really watching the Bloodline no more for Roman. Everybody was watching it for Sami Zayn, right? And we can all agree to that, right? If you said Sean, boy,
it was tied. Wait.
Y'all sitting here telling me, wait. Y'all sitting here telling me y'all was watching
the biggest WWE superstar right now.
Raw, y'all was not watching to see what Roman was going to do. Y'all was watching to see what the Sami Zayn story was going to be about. Everybody wants to know what Sami Zayn.
He is right about that part.
Bro, nobody was watching Roman.
It really wasn't about after November. It really wasn't about Roman anymore. It was about
Sami.
It was about Sami and the Usos. It was Sami coming out. What was being done with Sami? It was more from November on. It's been more about Sami.
That's what I'm saying.
And you know what? Of that span. They were watching if Roman was going to kick Sami out. They was waiting for Sami to mess up. They was waiting for Sami to
but it was still about
Roman. To finally turn
That's
on Roman.
Still about Sami, though. That's not about Roman. No, but Henry,
Roman.
even with what you just said, it's still about Sami. It's still
Roman
if Sami is going to mess up, when Sami is going to mess up.
Roman's the biggest superstar right now.
But that has nothing to do with this bloodline storyline, though. Sammy
People are
made
still
this.
gonna watch Roman.
No,
People are still watching to tune in to Roman.
I think you're missing it because your mind is so hell bent on the big wrestler and it's not about. It's
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Keith.
The moment Sammy entered this story, it's been about Sammy since that point.
When you fell in love with wrestling back in the 90s, what kind of wrestlers were they?
It was Shawn Michaels.
In the 90s.
Shawn Michaels. It was Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
I'm older than you. I've been watching wrestling.
You're older than me, yeah. So
it was Shawn and Bret.
You fell in love with Shawn Michaels when he was in the
the Rockers.
The Rockers.
No, he was with the Rockers.
Right there.
Yo, Sting wasn't a big dude neither back then.
Sting is 250.
I was never a fan of Hogan.
Heavyweight. What is a heavyweight?
I was never a fan. I'm gonna be real with you. I was never a fan of Hogan. Who else were big dudes back? I like Macho. Macho won a big heavyweight.
What about Warrior?
You're right.
I never liked the Ultimate Warrior. I was never fans of those.
Ooh, wow.
What about the Brooklyn Brawler?
Shout out to the Brooklyn Brawler. That's sick.
Shout out to BB, Double B.
But all I'm saying is this right here, bro. I get where you at, Henry, but I'm just saying, bro, it's since November, it's been about Sammy. Nobody was really watching the bloodline for Roman no more. We all know Roman is the face. He's what everybody was in tune with. But you got to think about it. By November, Roman had beat everybody that we can really think of outside of Cody that was hurt, and Bray Wyatt was just returning. So nobody really cared. Nobody really cared about what Roman was doing because he had ran through everybody like hotcakes. So it was like, okay, what's Sammy gonna do?
Hey, Trav, you answer your own question. You said it was too soon to pull, but everybody was tuning in for. You said Sammy. That was the perfect time for Sammy to pull that trigger for Sammy.
No, it wasn't.
No, because we got. No, it wasn't.
Royal Rumble made the most sense because it was finally Roman going against somebody that deep down Sammy cared about, right? Because they're friends, regardless of the rivalry. They've been through so much. That's his friend. So the whole thing about the end of the match with them beating down KO the way they did, as you watch it, it's pulling on Sammy's heartstrings. It's pulling. And it got then, once Roman started mushing Sammy, once he really started getting in Sammy's face and he forced Sammy to do what he did. It was perfect timing. It was beautiful timing. That's the part I don't agree with Trav on. I don't think that part of the story needed to go on. Like Jermaine said, now we need new fresh stuff. We need new fresh opponents. Sammy is
so let me ask y'all this.
Over right now. It's the perfect time for Sammy to face Roman. Is Sammy gonna No, he's not.
So what okay, so two questions. When does Sammy fight Roman? Because it's damn sure in there WrestleMania.
Elimination Chamber, man.
Oh my God. Okay, second question.
First of all, even though it was in the dirt sheets, I mean, they've been right about everything. KO was at Rumble. It's going to be Sammy at Elimination Chamber. And the whole WrestleMania thing is still blurry as far as if he's defending one title or both. We know for sure he is fighting Roman. And from what I read, Cody. And from what I read today, they don't want to split up the titles. Now, the iffy part comes in is, does Cody lose at Mania? Because to be honest, they still got the counter going for Roman being the longest reigning champion. And right now, he's at, as of today, it might be like 800 and something. It's like 890, 891.
And Mania so is going to be like, what, near 1,000, right?
No. Yeah, somewhere around 1,000.
Well, no, yeah, because Mania is like 60 days away. So
yeah, so it's somewhere
like in the 900,
a little under, a little under 1,000. SummerSlam, he gets the record. That Monday after SummerSlam, he'll officially have the record. Does he lose at Mania or does Cody lose at Mania? It's happened. It has happened that the Royal Rumble winner has not won at Mania. It could happen.
It's been a while though, right?
This feud could keep going in SummerSlam also, which I like.
So, Would you saying that though? Seriously, would you saying that though? A strip of one title, would that break his streak? A strip of one title. I'm not saying
if they strip the Raw title, or if they strip the Raw title, it does not affect the streak because the streak is with the SmackDown title.
So that's why I was saying.
Y'all know that if my bad, Jay, if Cody
May 27th makes
Cody doesn't win, if Cody doesn't win, those are 3 Royal Rumble winners that have a loss against Roman.
Right. And the last one being Brock Lesnar last year.
But it's about the feud. But it's about the feud. It's about the match. It's not about that's the part that everybody be forgetting. It's not about the win-loss.
And then you got to think about this too. You got to think about this too. Are we really gonna have a build up to Cody and Roman? Because I think it's gonna be so.
Yes, it's gonna be a build up. I think the build up is
the build up is gonna be so focused on Sammy. And I don't think you're gonna get the perfect build up for Roman and Cody the way you should.
All right, so hold on.
The build up is gonna be from Elimination Chamber to Rumble. That's the build up.
That's a month. That's a month and a half.
All right, so hold on. So Leonard says, hey, everybody. He's confirmed that May 27th makes 1,000 days. And Jermaine says another 4 weeks makes 128 days, and 5th place of all time past Pedro Morales at 1,027 days.
I say it's only a month and a half because we only gonna see Roman 3, maybe 4 times in that month and a half. That's not gonna be enough for a great build up.
Yes, it is.
I got to step off for a minute. I'll join back in a minute. I don't think there's gonna be enough time to get the perfect build up that they need. If you're gonna go big, you got to go big.
You crazy? You know 6 months.
No, I mean honestly.
Wait. Wasn't Austin versus Rock a month? All they needed was a month, and that was one.
But they have been building it up over time with little small shit. With small stuff.
The small shit is Cody returning. He said what he was gonna do last year. Injury happened. He said it at the press conference that he didn't want to name Roman yet. He did it at Mania. He did it at this Raw, and it's gonna build up, slowly building up.
Right.
We don't see, bro. I'll be back.
All right. So I made a statement during the Rumble in our group chat, and I want to retract that statement. What I said was when we was at 29. Okay, so first off, they botched the whole Nia Jax number 30 entrance. Like they played her music before the countdown even started. So I don't know who was in charge of that. But I did say if Naomi didn't return at number 30, that her, it was probably a wrap for her. Then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Instead of them now, I mean, she could come back and she would have a great match with Bianca, since Bianca technically doesn't have a competitor as of right now. But if they don't have nothing for her, let her come back, either Raw or SmackDown after Mania. Now, if she doesn't come after that, then I think it might be after that. So Lynn has a question for you guys. She says, what about the Banger Bros?
The Banger Bros?
Yeah, the Banger Bros, Sheamus and Drew.
You don't want my answer on that.
So Lena. I'm sorry, Lena. So elaborate. The guys want to know, what you want to know about them or what you want their opinion about.
Am I feeling them? Nah, I'm not.
Don't nobody care about Drew. Don't nobody care about Drew.
Bro, why are you hating on Drew, man? You hate on all these heavyweights.
What was that, Lene? That was Lene? Yeah, nobody care about Drew, bro.
Man, y'all say on Drew like crazy.
It's about Sheamus right now. It's about Sheamus right now, bro.
All right, so now the question is...
It is about Sheamus. I'll give you that. It is about Sheamus.
Who do you guys think is going to win on Friday in this tag tournament? Ricochet and Braun, who was added into the match, or who they're fighting Imperium, right?
Yeah.
Imperium wins.
I believe that too. Because I feel like Imperium would make more sense to fight the Usos instead of Ricochet and
way more sense.
And Braun, yeah, because I don't think nobody really wants to see that. Some people do. Maybe don't. This is my opinion, but I think that
Sheamus and go ahead.
Yeah, but I think Imperium versus the Usos will be a way better match. Because if not, then it's going to be Ricochet trying to hold it down. For the team. Well, speaking of Ricochet, what y'all think about the spot with Ricochet and Logan Paul?
That would have been a dope. That would have been a dope WrestleMania match. Them two.
Yeah, but I think they're gonna have Seth versus yeah.
You know what's crazy before?
You really think they're gonna Seth versus Logan?
Yes, bro. You know what's crazy? Before, when I saw Logan come in the Royal Rumble, and I'm like, man, it would be something because Roman already faced him.
Right.
So it'd be like, you know what? It makes sense. And then before he had any interaction with Seth, I said that, and I said, all right. And then, they did what they did in that thing, and that's the perfect.
I think it's gonna be him and Bad Bunny.
You think so?
You think so? Then Ricochet, triple threat.
But the thing about that is, all right. So one thing that we learned about wrestling, overall, like when you have like guys who aren't, actual wrestlers, you need somebody to kind of like guide them through the ring, through the match, and kind of like lead the match. And I don't think Logan Paul is there yet. And I know for a fact Bad Bunny isn't there. So so a match like that.
Yeah, I mean, fantasy booking, man. It's more
but I think you put an experienced guy like Seth, and Seth can kind of lead and guide the match, and Logan Paul can do his spots, and just play a role while Seth kind of like guides and narrates the match that way. That's why. And then if you think about it, Seth really doesn't have anybody to fight because he's been fighting Cody. You know what I'm saying? This whole time, Cody comes back and he's kind of like a baby face, like a tweener, I guess we can say. So, but speaking of Seth, the internet has been going crazy on a comment that Bayley said to Becky during their confrontation in their promo, which was kind of interesting. It was funny, but interesting at the same time. All right, so Lena says, what did Lena say? So she says Gunther is a legend. He was in the Royal Rumble match at number 1 and lasted a long time. Yeah, so he is, as of right now, the person who's been in the Rumble the longest. And I believe he was at 71 minutes and a couple seconds. So
he don't got a longer time than Curtis Axel. Curtis Axel is still in the Rumble.
Yes, right, Curtis Axel has still never been eliminated. You're absolutely right.
Is still in the Rumble. We're going on 4 years.
So is Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio about to be the longest.
Rey Mysterio never entered the Rumble.
Hold on a second. Right, so Rey technically won because if you think about it, Cody jumped over the top rope and eliminated himself after. So Rey technically is the winner if you think about it.
All right, excuse me, fellas. I gotta make my introduction. I'm back like cook crack, baby. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, son?
What's going on, man? The big bad booty daddy is in the house. What's up, fellas? Sean Keys.
Yo, hold on. So for you guys, so for you guys that never seen
Henry
this in person,
so
what's going on? So when Saheem makes that intro for the Big Bad Booty Daddy, you guys need to tune into this Facebook page and the YouTube to see the flex that that Ant does every time. And he's on point, he's on cue, the straight Big Papa Pump style. You guys got to see it. It's hilarious every time you see it. It never gets old. Never gets old.
Never gets old.
All right, so we're gonna let you catch up. So what are your thoughts on the Rumble and everything that transpired over the last 2 days?
Oh man, it was marvelous. It was excellent. I honestly would say that is by far the best Royal Rumble I've seen in a long time, hands down, front to back, 5 out of 5. Definitely. Like if I have to literally go back to every Rumble and compare it to say like the only other Rumble I could think about that pales in comparison is the 2000, Royal Rumble 2000 when The Rock won, because The Rock won and then Mick Foley and Triple H had that classic match, that classic street fight.
I also like the Rumble when Austin was eliminating everybody and he was just down sitting on the rope, and then every time the countdown came out, somebody else comes out, he come in, beat him up, eliminate him. But then
was that the second one? The second one he won?
I'm not sure, but then it's like
That's the first one he won.
But then when countdown, the countdown came down, and he was looking at his wristband at the clock, and Brett music hit. His expression was like, "Oh snap! Okay, no, this there's no more fun and games." All right, so
that's the first one he won.
Lena says Brock versus Gunther at WrestleMania 39.
Let me say this.
Okay,
let me say
not going to happen.
I'm gonna say this. Let me say this, man. Let me say this. We'll get to the Brock and Gunther, but I'll say this: Gunther, like, I don't know if you guys watched the press conference because I was like locked in. That Royal Rumble was amazing. I was locked in. I didn't watch the press conference, but long story short,
I watched the press conference. Yeah, I watched the press conference.
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
And Triple H even said it. He was like, a lot of performers that work with Gunther come backstage and they say Gunther is like that guy. Like they say, like he's it. And Gunther is magic, man. Like. I don't know how it was for y'all, but when him and Cody faced off at the end and they had that little thing at the end, it felt like time stood still. Like, I'm not trying to be dramatic, but it felt like something aside from the Rumble. It felt like it didn't even feel like the
Iron Man match.
You don't feel like it was too long.
I didn't feel like it was too
Iron
long.
Man match, man.
So I felt like I wanted to be over and let's get to the next match. That's how I kind of felt.
You got to be locked in, baby. You got to be locked in, man.
I was, but
that's what it is, man.
Let me ask you this side. Do you think Gunther should have won over Cody?
No, absolutely not.
Thank you.
It's not Gunther's turn.
And do you? Thank you.
Why is it Cody's turn?
Why is it Cody's turn?
Oh my God!
Well, his last name is Rhodes.
No. We don't have this discussion. No.
I'll explain to you.
If we're gonna have this discussion. Cody just got back. Gunther's been putting in pain and work.
Okay.
Why is it not his turn and his time?
Because it's about the build, right? It's about the build. It's about the push behind the character. It's about what the fans are pushing or what the fans are cheering for, what the fans want to see. And the thing about it is yes, Gunther has been putting in pain and been putting in work since Cody's been out, but Cody has been putting in pain and putting in work years before Gunther even got there, right? So we're talking about Cody Rhodes, who was a performer in WWE. Sean, wait, hold on, Harry, hold on, Harry,
I got this side. Let me explain.
He put in pain and work in WWE before Gunther got there.
He did. Before he
wasn't he in AEW? He was in AEW, right?
Yeah, before he was in AEW, he's in WWE,
and he won't doing shit. So what are we talking about? What pain and work? You're not making a point.
So you're telling me,
Sean. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is the point. This is the point. No, I'm making a point. The point is perfect. It's perfectly clear because you're trying to erase. See, the thing about you, Sean, you have amnesia. I don't know why. You have amnesia when it comes to wrestlers. For some reason, the only thing you remember is every minute that counts down, but not every second after or every minute after. It's like you just remember here now and everything else. Everything that counts right here in this moment is what matters to you. You got to think about everything else that builds up to a point, man. Like, again, Cody Rhodes being the person or being the guy that's being chosen is because we're talking about a story of his career coming in culmination to this moment. Is being built up to a moment. His legacy. So what's being celebrated and what's being pushed by the fans is the fact that we've seen the evolution of Cody. We've seen the evolution of Cody. We've seen Cody go from legacy to then Cody go to being a singles competitor. Dashing Cody Rhodes to him not getting a proper push in the heavyweight picture to him being
Cody,
held down, ugly Cody, him being held down as being
Cody's a heavyweight,
Stardust being held down, leaving the federation.
What is that heavyweight?
Another promotion, and then coming back. So it's a story. It's a career story.
Is he under 199?
Is it a career story?
It's a career, exactly. It's a career story.
How is that a career story?
He is a heavyweight.
Cody's a heavyweight.
Hold on.
So that's a career story. Not too many people gonna remember that career story.
So hold on. So I have a perfect point.
Check his weight.
So to steal a catchphrase from another great WWE superstar, right?
215 and up is a
Cody Rhodes beat Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell with the broken freaking pec. Let's
That
just
was
say
rigged.
that.
Broken freaking pec. Okay,
A
but Sean,
broken freaking pec.
Sean, my question to you is, Sean Lee, he leaves. Sean, listen, why does Cody not deserve it? Why does he not deserve it?
Because it's Cody.
All right, so let's keep it 100.
God.
I know you hate Cody.
Hold on,
You're not gonna give us a legitimate answer.
No,
You're just gonna tell us that you hate Cody. You don't deserve it.
I will tell you my reason. I'll tell
A
you my
legitimate reason.
That's what Anthony said. He's not Jungle Boy. That's why.
Cody
like
leaves.
midgets, man. It's all right.
He's not Luchasaurus.
All right, go ahead, Sean.
So Cody gets fired.
Yeah.
He's salty. He's crying. You know, he's upset.
Yeah.
He goes to New Japan. He goes to Ring of Honor. He goes to NWA. He meets up with the Bucks.
You're proving Size point right now.
Hold on. No, I'm not. Wait. Trust me. I'm not done. So he meets up with the Bucks, Kenny, Hangman, and they all have that same feeling about WWE, right? Because Cody's moving off of emotion more than anything. We clearly see that now.
I agree with that.
No, hold on. Because right now he's moving off of not right now, but at that time he was moving more off of emotion. His feelings were hurt. He felt like he was a lifer with WWE because of his dad. He never could get fired. Let's be real. That was his mindset. So he thought that's where he was going to be forever.
Did he get fired, or I thought he?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
He got fired. He got fired.
It was a mutual thing of him requesting, but him getting fired.
Why would he wants to stay to be Stardust?
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish because I'm making a point. All right. So regardless, he has a bad regardless, he has a bad taste in his mouth about WWE. He goes on a rant and rave. He's talking shit about them. When AEW is finally made, he does the whole thing with crushing, the throne because his heart is broken.
Already said that.
Right, which I get it. I understand it. We all been through bad breakups and shit. It happens,
Right.
Yeah, that was a bitch move though.
Then AEW happens, and I'm not gonna say it wasn't what he thought it was gonna be. It was more or less when him and the Bucks started bumping heads, which happens in business. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a brand new business. It's gonna happen. Whether it's early on, whether it's later on, it's gonna happen in business. So he starts pouting. But before that, he messed himself up because he put the dumbass stipulation in about not being able, if he lost that match to MJ, was it MJF, I think?
No, it was for Jericho.
It was Jericho? Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, he put the stipulation in that if he lost the match, he could never go for the AEW title. Dumb as hell. So what does he do? He goes and creates the TNT title, and it didn't really do what it was supposed to do for him. It did, but it didn't. Regardless of all that, his contract ends. He decides he wants to now crawl back to WWE because that's what he did. He crawled back. Let's be real. They didn't come calling him. They weren't checking for Cody. Cody's contract was up. No, Henry. Let's not do that.
Let's do that because
they were not checking for Cody.
With a handshake.
Cody was checking
a handshake for a while.
Cody
working with a handshake for a while.
For like a month. It was a month.
For a handshake.
It was a month.
Tell me this, man.
He worked with no contract for a month.
Everybody has a job.
And with him crawling back, Vince is like, "Oh, I'm gonna give you everything you want." First off, Vince is a old dumbass. Let's be real.
And what
everything Vince has been doing these last few years, Vince is a old dumbass. This won't Triple H. All of this was
Triple H could have changed it now. Triple H is in
all
charge.
of this was already in motion. But the reason Cody, in a sense, is the guy over Gunther, in a sense, is because it's the fans. It is the fans. It's the fans calling for Cody. It's the fans wanting Cody. So what does Triple H do? He's listening to the fans, which I'm not mad at. They're finally doing what they should have been doing years ago.
Right.
They should have been listening to us years ago. We're literally telling them what we want to see on TV, and they were giving us the total opposite.
No, they were giving us what Vince wanted to see.
Right. And I when it comes to Gunther, I feel like maybe because I've watched him from NXT up till now, right? I'm not talking about what he was doing in Progress and everything before.
Now Now, were you watching them in UK or just
Yeah,
straight UK?
I want you to tell us and explain to us why Cody does not deserve it.
But because he came back and got it handed to him, he ain't do shit.
But hold on, wait, no, you can't.
Three matches. He had three matches. Three matches. Got hurt, been gone, and came back and won the Rumble.
You can't disregard what. Okay, this is the thing. You made an excellent point, and you answered your question because you said that Triple H has given us he's giving the fans what they want. That's what happened in NXT. You had people in NXT who were putting on bangers of a match, and Triple H was giving us what we wanted in those stars. Again, we're talking about a product. We're talking about products and consumers. You give consumers what they want. If you are a person at you're a person who has a soul food store. I'm a soul food shop, right? And you sell baked chicken, and you sell fried chicken, and people love your baked chicken. They're buying up your baked chicken, but your fried chicken ain't selling. What you going to sell more of? You're going to sell more of your baked chicken because everybody ain't buying your fried chicken. So you're going to make what sells. Again, this is about a product. This is about what consumers want. So when we look at consumer and product, the consumers want more of Cody. When we look at storyline and why it works and why the fans are going for it is because it's a story of legacies, a story of us watching Cody's evolution coming from a person who should have got a push, who wasn't treated and didn't get his comeuppance. He comes back building his status outside of WCW, building a character, not his status, but building a character that is more likable, that is more likable and more appealing to the fans outside of WWE with the American Nightmare image. He became a better character. He comes back to WWE, represents his character. It's more likable.
And I agree with you.
That's the reason why.
I do agree with you on that. Him going,
but he got everything handed to him.
NWA.
Let me say something real quick. It's like the same thing as when Drew won the Royal Rumble. The fans went crazy. Went crazy because of what's that said? His legacy. He came back, got fired. He came back and finally became the world champion. Same thing as Cody, the evolution. Same thing I was telling you that Gunther right now, most of the WWE fans don't know Gunther because you said NXT. When I'm saying little kids don't know Gunther, and little kids is what WWE is people looking for. Cody, little kids want to be Cody.
How do they not know Gunther when Gunther? It ain't like Gunther just came up from NXT last week, and now
what merchandise is Gunther selling? Right. What merchandise is Gunther selling?
Bro, Imperium is selling Imperium as a whole.
For kids,
right.
Keys,
okay.
for kids.
All right, hold on. So let me get to the comments. And I got a question and scenario for you, Keys. All right, so Lena says they did Montez Ford dirty. He landed on his feet in front of his mother-in-law. And and Marty says, yo, what up,
Marty?
All right, so Sean, I got two scenarios for you. All right, so I want to go back to what you said about Cody being a free agent and WWE going after him at the time, because I've been on the show and I've said numerous times that around that time, AEW was signing all the good guys, all the good stars, because nobody really wanted to go to WWE because of Vince's lack of pushing and horrible creative. Now Cody at the time was the biggest free agent. You know what I'm saying? So you had so now in order to bring some kind of excitement, you got to make that splash, because if you don't bring in Cody, you have Seth fight Brock was had you have Seth fight a Goldberg or a Cena or somebody that you bring back is not going to bring that excitement. And then so that now I'm gonna give you a scenario. So when you said that Cody crawled back, what makes Cody going back to WWE different from when LeBron left Cleveland the first time and Dan Gilbert was saying all this crazy stuff about LeBron and trashing his name and everything, and LeBron ended up going back and Dan Gilbert welcomed him with open arms?
I want to say this. Let me say this. And it's a good point. It's a good point. It's a good point, Jay. But I want to say this too. I want to add this: is that when you look at what Triple H is doing with Gunther, right? And it's the same thing with Austin Theory. I know you hate Austin Theory. I know you do. But when you look at what he's doing, right, with Austin Theory, what'd he do? Okay, so Austin Theory was handed this briefcase. He comes in, this young hotshot. He's handed the briefcase. Vince McMahon is ready to slap this world title on him in less than a year, or a year's time. However Vince was trying to plan him to cash in that Money in the Bank, right? But when Triple H seen the situation, he assessed it and he realized like the fan, he's not getting heel heat, he's getting hate heat. He's getting the wrong kind of heat. And Triple H is looking at Austin Theory like, no, you're a major talent. The way that I want you to be seen to the fans is as a hateable heel that can turn into a likable face. So we need to get you the right heat. And how we do that is we build you properly to make you believable, because Austin Theory wasn't believable to the fans. So what he does, he takes the briefcase from him. He has him legitimately and cleverly win a triple threat match to get the United States title. So now Austin Theory doesn't have hate heat. He has heel heat. So the same thing with Gunther. It's like Gunther comes in. He's like, Triple H is like, all right, Gunther is fresh. Now that Vince's hands is off creative, in time to save Gunther from being buried, because Vince was going to bury Gunther before that whole scandal happened, because that was like all in the tabloids. Triple H is like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to build you as a believable heel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have you beat legitimately strong faces cleverly. Like, you're going to have some minor interferences here and there, but you're going to be a believable heel. To whereas when Gunther finally does get that world title, like, we have another good Triple H heel. We'll have another, good heel, another Seth Rollins like heel, where when that title goes on him, or Roman Reigns, heel, when that title goes on him, is going to be believable. To whereas it's like, this is a good heel to where we're hating him enough to like him, So that's the thing. It's like, it's about a proper build. So Gunther winning the Royal Rumble wouldn't work at this time. You know what I'm saying? Cody is the right guy for the push. He's the right guy for the story. All the fans want to see Cody Rhodes win that world championship.
Son of a plumber.
I want to see it because I always believed in Cody. I always thought Cody was an excellent talent. I always felt like out of legacy, I felt like he should have evolved. Especially how he built that
everywhere he went, he had something handed to him. The leadership of Bullet Club. When he went to New Japan, Finn handed him the leadership of Bullet Club.
Let me say this, because the thing about it is about innovation. Is about the innovation of your character, right? You're handed a character, or you're given a character in development, right? And then they leave it up to you. Well, and let's look at it in Triple H's eyes and how he did NXT. Because with Vince, Vince is always all over the place. Vince will like you for a week, and then the next week he'll hate you and want to bury you. You know what I'm saying? But in the how Triple H thinks now is how Vince used to think. But anyways, to get to my point is that when Cody Rhodes had that character and he went singles, he was like, I'm gonna do Dash and Cody Rhodes, right? He built the persona around the character. He got into a match with Rey Mysterio where he hurt his nose. Then he started wearing the face mask to protect his somewhat beautiful face, and started building on vanity. Then he brought the IC title and had the white belt. He built all these things around the character. So that's the thing. It's like when Cody left, he showed that he can develop his character. He could take his character to the next level. And not a lot of superstars can do that on their own and take that initiative. And that's the thing.
Say one thing before you say something. Like Stardust, man. When Stardust first appeared, I liked it. I was a fan of Stardust.
Fire.
I was a fan. I was like, all right, Goldust start. This finally makes sense. But then I get with Stardust, it got too late to it. They should have pulled the trigger, did something with Stardust, but it just went down.
It was too Joker-like in a sense.
Yeah.
I liked it, but it was a little too Jokery. Like
if they spin the character like a Joker.
All right, so Daquan says bingo. All right, I want to get y'all thoughts on this before we. All right, so Leonard says Drew McIntyre's story is way different from Cody because WWE called Drew back. Drew was gonna go to the Indies before he got the call, but he never once bashed the company, which is true, or got anything handed to him.
Well, that's not true. Well, he did. What? He did.
No, she's talking about when he came back. Not
when
the
he came
first
back. When he came back, no. Well,
he had to earn that.
No. Because when he came back, there was a quick rise. Like in the sense that he didn't get anything handed to him. It's like
he had to earn that.
Yeah, he didn't get it handed to him like Cody in the sense that
That's
he came back
AEW,
as his
but
WrestleMania match and his WrestleMania moment, and then all of a sudden like he's now automatically in the title in a heavyweight title picture. But the difference between Cody and Drew McIntyre is the fact that the difference between Cody and Drew McIntyre is that Cody went through all the ranks. He went through the ranks of being in a group. Then after leaving the group, he goes as a single competitor, getting his push suppressed. Then he goes to being humiliated with a character. So he went through everything. He did everything that needed to be done as far as being pushed down.
I'm not gonna lie.
The only direction for Cody was up with his character.
Drew was the golden child. Drew was the chosen one. Drew was the chosen one.
That don't make sense. Yeah, that from what Linnea is saying though, I bet. Look at both of them when they left the company, right?
Right.
It's pretty even because Drew went to Impact. Went to Impact, became who he was, right? Amazing. Mm-hmm. Cody went to AEW. Well, not just AEW, but he went the indie route with New Japan, Ring of Honor, AEW, NWA, and became a bigger name, was putting on bangers of matches. Every match he did was strategic and fire, right?
Right.
The build up to get back to WWE. You know what I mean? It was, in a sense, it really was the whole like everybody else does. Look at me over here. You know, like when you trying to get the attention of your big brother or your parents or whatever, and you're like, look at me, look what I can do. I went and got this. I got this trophy, that trophy. Look, I got all these medals. Like that's what he did, which is fine to get back to WWE. But what Linnea saying is Drew went NXT, built up through NXT, went back to the main roster, built through the main roster to get back to the title. The difference with him and Cody is Cody came back, had 3 matches, got hurt, and got number 30 in the Rumble, and now he's getting a title shot. Possibly, we don't know yet, winning the title. Yeah. There's really no, if you look at it just from that standpoint, not what he did when he was in the company before, from either one of them, just from that standpoint, Cody shouldn't be in this. He shouldn't be in this position right now. If you're looking at it solely just from there, from the comeback part.
If you're looking at it from just like that, you said if you're looking at it from just like that. But Cody, like you said, Cody did it. What was it, like 30 minutes or longer than that in the Hell in a Cell when he was hurt?
I mean, it was about 30 minutes. It was about 30 minutes. But the thing about so Cody had 3 pay-per-view matches. But I mean, a lot of us forget he did have a lot of matches. No, but he did have a lot of matches on Raw. You know, prior to that, so he had a couple matches on Raw. So he had a little bit over 3 matches. He's had 3 pay-per-view matches.
With the same person.
With the same person, right? I mean,
yeah, but Cody was hurt, and Cody was hurt, man.
Can I say this?
I'm not taking away from his. I'm not taking away from his injury or anything like that. Because I mean, he went a whole match where he didn't have to. He literally could have backed out of that match with Seth and did not have been a sucky fight. It could have been a sucky wrestling match. And I respect him for that fully. Like that was amazing. Nobody else. I couldn't.
I'm gonna say this. This is the thing that makes Cody. I'm not saying this is what separates Cody from Drew, right? Because I coming to think about like what I said about Cody and Drew about how Cody went through all the ranks of being suppressed. I'm sorry, Drew went through the same thing because he joined 3MB. He got his push taken away. Yeah. He went through the same thing. So yes, you're right, Sean. They were very similar. Like as far as how they went through the ranks.
Hold on, side. Hold that thought. All right, guys, we definitely thank you guys for tuning in on the Block 105. Definitely thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like the Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. Tune in every Thursday at 1 and also every Tuesday at 9. You guys can follow us on Facebook, Instagram to follow the live. So we definitely thank you guys for tuning in to the Block 105.
Yes, sir. So, so what makes Cody different was that Cody went and started. Their ascension, or I'm sorry, their build in the Indies was like similar, but I think Cody's had more. He had more fan heat behind him. Like he was white hot in the Indies, right? But what makes Cody different was that Cody went and started a whole promotion. Like that took a lot. to do that. Like the fact that you as a performer left and started not direct competition, but something that potentially could be direct competition. And I think when Vince seen that, Vince was like, you know, it was just like Vince looked at it like, yo, like you started a whole nother promotion. Like Vince kind of looked at it like, what was it about you that I missed? What was it about your creativity? What was it about you that I missed? And I think that's what makes Cody a little bit different. Now I understand, like, what does it have to do with his wrestling? It has a lot to do with his wrestling, because the fact that you were able to put on a show and put together a show shows that you have some booking qualities, but not just booking qualities, but creative qualities in the ring to make main events or make great shows or make a good match.
Let me say something about that too.
Between him and Drew.
Let me say that too. It's like you said. Let's talk back. Drew, when he first came to WWE, that was Vince's boy. He was the chosen one. His gimmick was the chosen one.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. He failed. I mean, he had the ball and he failed. They went back to that group, and then the build-up back to Cody. Cody had like Stardust was fired. Then he got childish, and then it was an embarrassment. He got out. He got pissed. He had already that fan base going to the Indies. He had that fan base going to win the NWA World Heavyweight title because of Dusty. He had all that, and then to put out All In, or was it All In or All Out? Was it All In? Right?
All In.
All In. That caught Vince's attention, man. So I mean, he was part of making a promotion, but I don't think he was like the main guy. But if it wasn't for him, then that push that he gave the Bucks, then there wouldn't be no AEW.
Right,
like you said,
it's true. Facts.
And like you said, Vince saw that, and it's like him coming to crawling back. I don't think so. It's like us, man. If we got another job, we get another job. We don't like it there. Something's going on. We're gonna ask. We're gonna ask for what do you think about this idea of me coming back? And it's just planting a seed. It planted a seed, and it went on. And then he was like, all right, but if I come back, this is what I want. These are my demands. If you like it, yeah. If you don't, then I understand.
Right.
And that's what Cody did.
That's exactly what he did.
Triple H respected what Cody did, man. Triple H respected. He would make fun of the AEW and all this stuff, but it's like Cody had balls to go head to head with Triple H. Like he said in the press conference, he did the throne thing, but there was always still respect for Triple H.
All right, so the Chronicles said his work in New Japan was up there. Now,
work was fire.
So speaking of Cody and so now let's debate about this, because there's a debate out there. Some people say Cody started AEW. Some people say Jericho started. Jericho says he started AEW. Because according to Jericho, he was the big name that signed with AEW, and
he was.
And he said, he also said that without him, AEW wouldn't have gotten the kickstart that it did.
I disagree. I totally disagree. Me personally, I believe that what made AEW, kind of boom, or made me want to watch AEW, and I feel like, I don't feel like I speak for everybody, but I feel like this is one of the primary things that made people want to watch AEW, what kickstarted, was that you had Omega, who was a free agent, who was hot, who didn't sign with WWE and decided to go with a new promotion that would go into somewhat direct competition. You had the Young Bucks, who were hot, who WWE been trying for years to try to pull back in WWE ever since they were hot in New Japan. Then you had Cody, who was hot in the Indies, who's white hot in the Indies, who then went from TNA to NWA to New Japan, and he was a main eventer, and he was getting his name was becoming so big. So it was like
when he was in TNA.
Right. So when they actually came together and said, we're going to put together a show with the hottest free agents hottest free agents that WWE wants, and you had Hangman Page as well. And then you got Jericho, who just left, and you got all these hot free agents, right? You got the hottest, like 6-7 hot free agents, and you put together a show with other upcoming talents, and they put that together. They was like, let's see the response we get with hot free agents that WWE wants and that people want to see in WWE. Let's see how they respond. They did that, and they got a positive reaction. And I think that's what started AEW. I don't think it was because Jericho just being like this hot free agent that everybody was like, oh, Jericho. I'm like, Jericho's, in my opinion, Jericho's old. He can still go. He can still give you a great match. He can still give you a great storyline. But Jericho, in my opinion, Jericho is not the big three. And my big three is Rock, Austin, and Triple H. Like
Yeah.
I don't
I agree with you.
Right. That's WWE. That's WWE. Would you put Jericho in his AEW top 3?
Not even just AEW, bro. Like, to be honest, when you look at wrestling as a whole, people don't give Jericho the respect he's supposed to get. Like, to be 100 with you, Jericho is top 3. Jericho's goated. He might be the GOAT if you want to keep it 100. Nobody's had more
wrestling wise, right? Wrestling wise,
yeah. Wrestling wise, yes. Even promos.
Nah, he ain't the GOAT. All
right.
Wrestling wise,
but
he's goated. He's goated.
But
he's goated. I agree. He's goated.
Hold on, Jermaine. Before you get to Quan comment, to what Sai just said, no, and I'm gonna tell you why it's no. It's what Henry said. It started with All In. It started on the internet with Meltzer saying that a bunch of indie guys, because it was a conversation at first. It was never anything that was supposed to be taken serious until Meltzer challenged them and said a bunch of indie guys could never put together a better show than a major promotion like WWE could. So it started out as kind of like a bet, like, what? No, we can do that shit. So them and Ring of Honor got together, their side and Ring of Honor got together and put together All In, which was a collective show from between all of that group of guys that you named and then Ring of Honor. So from there, afterwards, it was like, damn, we really did that?
All right. So
oh, go ahead.
All right, so Quan says, I give hella credit to Jericho. When he started his cruise, he had all those guys from New Japan and other indie guys and ex-WWE guys. This was way before AEW, but I'm biased. I love Jericho. And Lene says, and we definitely didn't talk about this. So Kofi was eliminated because his foot hit the chair. I think Kofi was legit hurt.
No, Kofi got hurt for real.
Yeah,
he botched.
He botched and got hurt. So I think so honestly that I think that, I mean, if you think about the last couple Rumbles, that Kofi is supposed to have this spectacular, Rumble moment.
The last two he botched.
Yeah, he kind of botched the last couple. Yeah, so I think that might be a wrap for Kofi with his moments. And Kofi is older, you know what I'm saying? So he's not as limber as he used to be, so I believe that plays a part of it.
When his chest opened up, when his chest started opening up, it's
right.
It's the time for him to. But he's great though. He's great. He's great.
And Quan says it all started on a Jericho's cruise.
He's good.
That's where Meltzer got it from.
It did start on the Jericho cruise, which is, kind of the same thing with the whole like challenging them to do it, and that's really where it came from. And once they decided to get together, then they brought in. Jericho was brought in the beginning with the creative, with everybody else that originally signed. It wasn't a bunch of hot free agents or nothing like that. Yeah, they were all free agents, but it was more a bunch of friends that were like, yo, we really just went and did that. I think we can really do this on a regular basis. And that's where AEW came in at, where Jericho was brought in. And then from there, they wanted to give a chance to indie guys that aren't a bunch of indie guys that they've worked with, that they've watched, and just up and coming, giving them another option other than sitting around waiting on WWE, which to this day I feel like is amazing, because they're not direct competition, like you said. They're their own lane, and I love that, because you get, while it might be a bunch of people that nobody's familiar with, they have a TV deal. They have an opportunity.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Right.
Yeah, like they have the opportunity to be seen, to be known.
Legit TV deal. A legit TV deal.
To want to get to know them or want to watch the product, that's on them. But it kind of sometimes it bothers me a little where people downplay AEW so much, and I'm like, they're not WWE by far. It literally is the total opposite of WWE, and I feel like amazing. That's beautiful.
And go ahead.
I was gonna say that's the thing that when AEW came out, I was a fan, man. I was a big fan. I was big, and to go back to the Jericho thing, what made me want to watch it was Jericho's gonna be there. I know him. That's cool, But when Mox came to attack Omega, that's when I was like, man, that should have been the main event. That should have been the world title picture. That should have been from the get-go, not Jericho. That should have been it. But then after they started bringing more WWE guys in and more like, okay, where's the storylines are going from? It started getting to me. I mean, I ain't trying to bash them, and I want them to be the competition for WWE because look what happened. We just got Cody jumping ship last year,
Right.
and I want to see that. I want that back and forth thing. I want that WCW, WWE, or ECW thing that he was just an ECW, now he's here. Like, that's what I want to see. That's that, not no bringing old timers. Yeah, I love watching Goldberg, but let's be honest, Goldberg is 55, 60 years old. He can't go.
Right.
Older, yeah. Sting, with Sting, you can't see Sting go and Undertaker do something that you wanted to see 10 years ago.
Yeah. Right. So now the crazy part about it kind of made me think about something. And I'm gonna get to the comments. So Lene and Quan, hold on, because you guys have some great questions that we definitely want to answer. So we're definitely gonna get to those. But Sean, you made a point, and you said something that kind of made me think about something. You said AEW started with a bunch of friends who, decided to do something and make something, and say, we can actually do this. Which kind of put me into the mindset that's how Wrestling Talks and Thoughts started.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So technically, I mean, so we got it. So I'm saying, all right, so perfect. Ant is back. So Ant, I want to kind of address these. I want you to answer these questions first. So the first question I have for you is, how did you feel about your boy Bray Wyatt first match in 2 years in his pitch black match, and also it was his first televised match, and then Lene says, well, how do y'all feel about Kana?
Who?
Kana. I fucking loved it. So
China?
No,
Kana.
It's Oscar.
That's her new name? That's her new name?
No, that was her name before WWE. When she was in New Japan, it was Kana.
Okay.
Her whole persona that you're seeing right now is Kana.
Before Ant answers any other question, this is besides the point is, why did they switch Keith Lee's girl's name?
Right.
She wanted to.
I honestly still don't know why she was changed to Michin.
It's kind of confused. Like, I think they're playing with it because first she's Mia Yim, and then she's Meacham, then she's Meacham Mia Yim. So I don't know if it's
like trying something out.
I think
it's Triple H's idea, or you think it's her idea?
Yeah, I think it's Triple H's idea. Because Meacham is because what Mia Yim said, Meacham is what her grandmother used to call her. So that's kind of
who used to call
where
her
the
that?
name came from, her grandmother.
Okay.
So that's
he's putting
where that
thought into it. All right.
Right. So
see, now that I hear that story, I like it. Cause I didn't know.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I didn't know what was going on, and I was confused as hell.
But to Lene's question,
so Meacham is a nickname in Korean that means crazy girl.
Not even like that. Okay.
The name doesn't have a ring to it. I thought it was terrible. I was like, Meacham.
It is.
When you hear the backstory, I like it. I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a backstory, but it's like saying like if if Dookie in freaking Japanese meant assassin, it was like, does Dookie have a ring to it? Oh, we're gonna call him Dookie. It's
the same thing like Uzi.
Doesn't have
real
a
meaning.
But
the real meaning behind Uzi isn't what everybody.
No ring to it. There was no ring to it.
No. Hold on a second.
Because Uso
has a derivative. Usi's a derivative of Uso. We know Usi is a derivative of Uso. It's like short for Us. You know what I'm saying? Us or Usi. So it's like it's a derivative, and people were joking about it and making fun of it, and it connected because we know the connection. We know it's a derivative of it. But
same thing as Mitchie though.
Mitch, nobody know what that means except for I forgot I forgot his name in the comment section. He put the definition of it in Japanese, but I didn't know that.
The grandma name and stuff.
But it didn't come from like anywhere. Like they didn't build on it like Meechin.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But if they do explain,
so to go back to the Kana thing.
Yeah, so Meechin.
Kana. If you aren't familiar, if you're just familiar with Asuka, what she did in NXT was a small derivative, like a small variation of Kana. If they actually let her be Kana in WWE, I feel bad for every woman she's about to be in the ring with. That strong style that they do in New Japan, the women, I don't think a lot of those women. It's only maybe 2 or 3 women in WWE that can handle that, like match wise.
I feel like Bayley, Becca.
Bianca. No, I don't even think Becky can. I'm gonna be real with you. So? I like
Bayley, Bianca, and
Bayley's
Shayna.
trash.
I don't.
And Shayna, right?
Shayna, Charlotte.
Bayley is trash.
Shayna, Charlotte, Bianca, and Bayley are the only ones that I feel like can handle that New Japan strong style that Asuka was doing as Kana.
That would want to do it. That you got to say that would want to do it. That would.
Are you saying it's like it's more of a physical? Is it like it's like whatchamacallit?
Underweight, physical. It's like Shinsuke. It's like if Shinsuke in New Japan, like the way it's just the strikes, the kicking, like all of it.
It's stiff.
It's stiff and it's amazing. But the wrestling aspect of it also is so much better. The character work. Even what you saw last night with just her not saying anything, her smiling in with the green mist, just going down her face.
Her eyes.
It's the little stuff like that it's gonna be so. Like if you looked at her in the Rumble, she's slimmed down. She's back down to her small size that she used to be.
Well, they can't do too much of it because the thing about it is that it's going to cause more injuries. Like wrestling like that can cause more injuries. Stiffness, soreness in the body. Like the more sore you are, the less agile you are, the less limber you are, the less you can move. So
that sounds good.
More injury.
All right, so
no, but it's like what you said. Hold up, my bad. It's like what Keith said. Is who wants to do it? Like those are. I even think Becky would want to do it, just because she's the man. So that, but can she handle it? I don't know. But it's who wants to do it. That's probably. But if the people that don't want to do it, like I would say like the Camila. What's
And Rhea can handle it too. I don't know why I forget Rhea. Can't. But Rhea, her and Rhea doing matches
like Liv and all them, they wouldn't probably handle it. They probably wouldn't want to do it.
All right, so Quan says, speaking of free agents, Will Ospreay, do y'all think he's going to AEW or WWE?
He should go to AEW.
He should go to WWE.
He should go to AEW, but I think with Will Ospreay, it's not just the wrestling, it's the money too. WWE is clearly going to offer him more money. It's just, are they putting him main roster or are they making him go NXT?
NXT, yeah.
Then main roster.
They're probably going to have him go NXT. Well, wait, so the question is, how old is Will Ospreay?
Will Ospreay's still young. He's like in his 20s.
Okay. So if he's under, he's in his 20s.
If Cody wins the title, I think he should go to WWE because there's more storyline to it, more stuff. Yeah. But if Roman Reigns is still champion, man, that's not a lot of storylines.
All right.
He's just going to be buried.
Will
He's not
Ospreay
buried, he's just going to be.
He's 29.
Okay. So he's probably gonna go to main roster because NXT. Well, the old NXT he went through NXT and came up, but the new style of NXT, they want younger guys, and I think 29 is kind of like older. So now here's a question that I kind of thought about, but I think you should kind of crossed my mind. So Lene says,
go to NXT though.
Are they splitting up Judgment Day because Charlotte is on SmackDown and Rhea is challenging her but she's on Raw. So now if she beats Charlotte, obviously she would have to go to SmackDown. Now, does the whole Judgment Day go to SmackDown, or do they do double duty? That's the question.
I think what they're gonna do with the whole Judgment Day is like what they're gonna do is they're gonna I think that what they're gonna. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I even go into that, I just want to talk about Ospreay real quick. Hold on a second. I think Ospreay should go to NXT. I'm gonna tell you why. Because NXT, one of the foundations of NXT was taking great indie stars and building that small brand, and then pushing them to the main roster. And I think that one of the things that NXT one of the things that NXT is missing like up and coming stars that you know what I'm saying, like they're missing that thing that they had that was special. They need to bring that back to whereas as Triple H was grooming from NXT from there to the main roster and see how see how that Triple H has control of full booking. Let's see how that would work with Triple H developing a great indie star from NXT all the way to the main roster. I think that'll be dope to see that actual transition. But as far as Rhea Ripley goes, I think what they're going to try to do is, because being that they're kind of like really heavy on pushing like girl power, so to speak, I think what they're gonna try to do is they're gonna put the belt on her. She's gonna stay with Judgment Day because it's like why split her up because she's a woman. She's the only like person in the group with the belt, and it makes her looks more dominant than men. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to play that. They wouldn't want to play it sexist like that. They would want to make her look strong with her being a champion surrounded by a bunch of men. So if anything, they'll probably keep them together. That's just my opinion.
But you think that they'll put everything on? They put them both on. Put Judgment Day on SmackDown with Ray.
I think they're gonna do the draft thing, and then Judgment Day is gonna be drafted over there. But hold on, right. Before that, back to Will. I would say he has the AJ Styles, the Kenny Omega type star. So I think he would go straight to the main. If they sign him up, I think he would go straight to the the main Raw and SmackDown. Like Ant said, he could face Seth, and then you got Cody matches.
Seth got history. Him and Seth got Twitter war.
All right, so Jermaine says Kana is Asuka's Cactus Jack / Mankind. Okay, wait. On a side note, I want to give a shout out to my Knicks. Yeah, they just lost to the Lakers in overtime, but they put up a great fight. They put up a great fight. They shouldn't even been in the game. And Randall should have made that layup. That's a topic for another story.
Hey, look.
But anyway,
look. I thought. No. Side note. I thought y'all was gonna win on Saturday. I didn't believe in my Nets.
Yo, listen.
I was like, damn. But my Nets.
Kyrie's on fire. I mean,
we talk about the real moment of Saturday night, the moment of the night,
Bray. Or
Bray, of course it was Bray.
Right. That's what I wanted you to get. That's your favorite wrestler. That's why I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
You think that was the best moment of Saturday night?
Yes.
At the Rumble.
Oh my God.
Outside of the bloodline. Outside of the bloodline. Outside of the way the Rumble ended, and Gunther's performance, Bray's moment. There was something there, man. Y'all got to pay attention to what's going on, man.
We are paying attention.
No lie. The greatest moment. I mean, there were moments, but. Beside like the bloodline and beside the bloodline and like what happened and how the Women's Royal Rumble ended, the greatest highlight moment of that Royal Rumble was Jake Paul and Ricochet doing that double clothesline in the middle of the ring. Fire.
So you didn't like Booker T doing the spin of Rudy? You didn't think Booker T doing the spin of Rudy?
All right, so who do you guys think?
Maybe.
So who do you which Rumble you guys think were better, the men's or the women's of this year?
The men's, of course.
The men's.
The women.
The men's.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Women. Stop.
The women. Stop playing it. You capping, man.
I mean the women's had more surprises. We did see. We did see Indy Hartwell in the Rumble. We did see Roxanne Perez. Oh my God, those short period fight, and then we also. I'm not a big fan of
the winner was Rhea Yams. Rhea Yams won the Rumble, bro. Come on.
I like how the women's Rumble ended with Asuka, Liv, and Rhea, but I feel like they should have gave it another spot. I'm not a fan of Tony Stark. I
just should have put Beth.
Is it Tony Stark? That's her name? No, Tony Stark is Iron Man. What's Zoe Stark?
I was like, the wrestler named Tony Stark. I was like,
Zoe Stark. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute, Iron Man. I don't know.
It's Iron Man. That's
Iron Man
Jr. Robert Downey Jr. was there.
Yeah, he was in the Women's Rumble. Him and Pepper.
He was in the guy.
No, Beth Phoenix should have been in the Rumble, man. It would have made sense, man. She already was in that involvement in the
I thought she was gonna come out too.
I think it's crazy. She might actually cost Rhea the title, and we won't even be talking about this Judgment Day.
You might be right. You might be right.
She might. I just want Edge to go away. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want Edge to retire. Edge need to let it go.
What's next for Bray Wyatt though?
All right, I'm gonna tell you what's next for Bray Wyatt, but let me just talk on Edge real quick, and I'll tell you
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, absolutely. But Edge, I'm gonna tell you why Edge need to go away, Henry. This is exactly why Edge need to go away. Edge came back at a bad time, right? And he came back twice. Like the first time he came back was during the pandemic. It was just like, the fans couldn't give him the pop that they wanted to give him. He had
the Royal Rumble pop. The Royal Rumble pop.
No. I'm talking about when we had the pandemic. Remember when he had the greatest match ever against Randy Orton? Remember in 2020?
There was no fans.
Right, but it's still the greatest match ever. What are you talking about, Henry? It was the greatest match ever wrestled by two wrestlers, Henry.
Yeah,
but
it was a lot of trick cameras, and it was a lot of theatrical things going on there.
It was the gimmick era right there.
Yeah,
the
but
COVID era
right?
was the gimmick era.
Right. He had that match with Randy Orton or whatever it was. Right. He had that match. And at the time it was the pandemic. He couldn't get the pop that he should have gotten from the fans because there was no fans there. Right. He comes back again. The time he comes back is at the time where Roman Reigns finally when Roman Reigns is like not even the middle, but like sort of like at the beginning of his heel run. So it was like, yo, there's no way you're going to win this Rumble and you're going to win this title off Roman. It was like, yo, that match, that fantasy match that you and Roman could have had a few years ago, that ship hadn't sailed, but it's just like all the fire and all the steam that was in that fantasy match had been like deflated out of that match. I still want to see it. I still want to see a one-on-one between. I mean, matter of fact, we did see it. I'm bugging. But anyway, that shows you how bad it was, how bad the steam was taken out of it. Not saying that Edge is not a great wrestler, but now Edge is back. He's wrestling with Judgment Day. I felt like in his match against Finn, I felt like there shouldn't have been any Judgment Day involvement. I felt like Finn should have just beat him fair and square, and it should have been like small involvement, not much, but just small involvement. And then it's like have Edge back. It's like he's going to come back. He's going to have this short little feud with Judgment Day. I feel like it should just be just to put them over, not for him to have any victory.
It's going to end at Mania. It's going to be Finn versus Edge in some kind of gimmick match at Mania.
Yeah, but it should end.
So I have another question for you guys. All right, so we all know that Raw is going to be in Orlando, where and how Becky and Bayley stated that they're going to end it where it all started in NXT. And NXT is in Orlando. Do you think we're going to see NXT guys or any surprise appearances at Raw?
Braun Breaker? I mean, who do y'all want to see, though? I mean, do y'all want to see anybody?
Money.
I don't want to see Braun Breaker. I don't want to see Braun Breaker.
Melo shoots and don't miss.
Yeah.
The only way I want to see Braun Breaker, unless he changed his name to the Little Hoochie Daddy.
Steiner. Braun Steiner.
Yeah, but honestly, and in the so here's how it all kind of like goes into play. So we all know that Vengeance Day is this Saturday. If Braun Breaker loses on Saturday, that's a big possibility that he does show up on Raw because
he got to show up as Little Hoochie Daddy.
But who would he face with? Who would he face in WrestleMania or the Elimination Chamber?
Right.
That's the thing you have to look into it. Like if you bring people from NXT, who is? We already know Seth is with.
Who would you put Braun up against first?
Yeah.
If you want to make him look good, you put him in there with Omos.
That would be horrible. That would be horrible.
Let's be serious now, man.
Nah, you want to look terrible. You put him in the ring. I mean, because like Omos,
I like Omos though, but I wouldn't do it.
It wouldn't show Braun's ability. He'll get eclipsed by Omos.
Nah, you know what you do? You put Braun against Drew McIntyre.
Or against Sheamus.
Okay.
But that means you had to wait to SmackDown. But speak. So I know Sean was real happy last night.
It's WrestleMania. It could be anything.
So last night, there was a couple Elimination Chamber qualifying matches. One in particular I know stood out to Sean when Bronson Reed took on Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I'm quite sure.
Sean was glued to the
TV when he seen Bronson Reed with.
Did Dolph win that? Did Dolph win that match?
No, you're not gonna do my boy like that, man. You're not gonna do Dolph.
Wait. You say, Sean, listen, man. Listen. You get no extra happy. You better hope. Listen, you
guess who's gonna be on SmackDown on Friday?
You would not know the Bingham Bros. I don't know the Bingham Bros. The Bingham Bros are not getting past Imperium, so it's all good. They're not getting past Imperium.
But Sheamus is going to be in the Intercontinental match with Gunther, man.
No, but no. Well, the Bingham's
not going to win.
Well, Drew and Sheamus is out of the tag title because
Yeah, they're out of it.
Yeah, because Ricochet and
the Viking Raiders.
Braun Strowman took their spot.
And the Viking Raiders, it's gonna be Viking. Because the Viking Raiders
the Banger Bros. They like, yo, you got to get that on TV.
Yeah, because the Viking Raiders attacked Sheamus and Drew, and they couldn't compete.
Yeah.
So then Hit Row thought they were gonna get a pass to the next round.
Can we talk about Hit Row, man? Can we talk about Hit Row?
Yo, it's gonna be Top Dollar versus Michael Cole at WrestleMania.
Can we talk about Hit Row, man? Can we just?
Yo, B-Fab was in the Rumble, kids.
Yeah. She's horrible. Oh, so Lene says I'm surprised Dexter Lumis wasn't in the Rumble. I was kind of surprised at that too.
I was shocked too.
But yeah, so B-Fab.
He was at the Rumble though.
So
B-Fab entrance. He was there.
So B-Fab had one match in NXT against Elektra Lopez, and she looked horrible. And for her to be I knew she's gonna be in the Rumble, her and Zelina Vega, because of the women, but she doesn't do it for me. I don't know, like she doesn't.
B-Fab.
What's B-Fab? Yeah.
What about Vegas? What's her name? Zelina Vegas. What do you think about her, man?
Zelina Vega is learning. She's
love
good.
Zelina Vega.
I like her. She's small. She's and then what I realized, she promoted Street Fighter 6, which now that gives me another game I gotta get this year, because I'm a Street Fighter guy. So aside from my 2K and Madden and both 2Ks and Madden I get every year, Street Fighter is another one that I get when they so that's another game I gotta get in this year. Tekken's coming out this year?
Tekken 8.
Yeah, Tekken comes out.
It comes out in a few months actually.
You can scan your face on that too.
Oh, that's dope.
Okay. But definitely, I definitely got to get Street Fighter. Street Fighter is definitely one of my favorite games. So yeah, that's another game I got to add to the list. I'm gonna need another hard drive. But yeah,
you know these games. But B-Fab is the girl that's with Hit Row, right?
Yeah.
She got a lot of work to do. Hit Row has not been this. Hit Row needs Swerve. They need Swerve.
They do.
They need them bad. They need Swerve,
yo. It's just they
I
feel
don't even like
Swerve,
man. I don't really like his promos or anything, man.
Because it's like they're lacking star power. They're lacking that it factor. And
Swerve is a legend, boy.
It wasn't so much that Swerve was like the star. It was just the cohesiveness that worked together with all of them together with Swerve. Like that made him pop. Like it was like you had Top Dollar, you had like it was just like when Swerve was there, like it added it's like it everybody shined a little bit more. Not saying that Swerve took all the shine. It's just that when all four of them are together, it's like you can see the cohesiveness. You can see how all four of them look well together.
Let me ask you something. Is Swerve's promo, because I haven't seen him in NXT. Is his promo better in NXT than it was in AEW?
Hell no.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
AEW promos sucks, bro.
They're terrible. AEW needs a lot of work with their promos. Oh my god, it's like the only people that cut great promos is like Moxley, Hangman Page, like the top people like Omega.
Ricky Starks. Don't forget about Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks.
Who by chance was at the Rumble?
Miro, and whatchamacallit, and MJF, of course.
And Kenny Omega.
All right, so
Zelina, I'm sorry, Lena, but Zelina Vega, she needs some in-ring work, a lot of in-ring work. Her mic skills on point. She's great at cutting promos, no doubt. Like, but her in-ring ability is like,
I loved it with Andrade. When she was with Andrade, right. I loved it when she was with Andrade. NXT, when she used to interfere with the matches and stuff like that.
Yeah. But that was great. That was a great. That was a great team, though. That was a great combination. They should have never. They should have never split that up. That worked so well. Like Andrade, like the way that character was built in NXT, it was like
she built that character.
It was like he was poised to be like a champion. Like you felt it on him. Like I was like, yo, if they just push him right, he could be what what's that guy named Alberto Del Rio? Yeah, Patron, El Patron. It was supposed to be El Patron.
It's just his English, man. It's his English, man.
Alberto Del Rio.
No, it's not.
No, yo, bro, that's not even it. Yo, listen,
Del Rio coming back too.
don't speak great English, but he has so much charisma that spills off of him that it's just like it's relatable. Like just the way he just like
his promos is fire.
Yeah. I get that. So, you're right on that. But it's
I mean, Andrade had that he had that energy, like, you know, he had that persona, like, you know, he was like this golden child, like this guy who can, like, you know, but he had something about him, and if they would have just pushed it right, I wouldn't have mind seeing him with a belt as like a heel. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would have been dope, or even like an anti-hero or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of great character. But
they dropped the ball with Andrade majorly.
Yeah, they did.
Majorly dropped the ball with him. But I feel the same way about John fucking blank. Zelina's boyfriend.
Malachi Black.
Alistair. Yeah, they dropped the ball with Alistair big time too, because it's like you had all of this talent that really could have made that main event picture look amazing.
Right.
Especially right now with Roman. It's so many other people he could have been having banger of matches with. Even with him winning, still having banger matches. And you literally had them sitting in catering for no reason and let them walk.
I still wish that we would have been able to get Alistair under Triple H's control on the main roster, as well as the Undisputed Era. I wish we would have really got a real Undisputed Era run, you know, on
Adam Cole, man.
Listen, I'm gonna be 100.
That man is the only, besides Daniel Bryanson or Brian Daniel, whatever his name is now, he is the only lightweight person that I would consider to ever hold a world heavyweight title. Is Adam Cole.
Not even Gargano?
No, I don't like it, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. I can see Gargano with it because let's be real. If we're looking at Cole and you're looking at Gargano, it's not too many differences. I think Cole is a little more polarizing as far as like his star power than Gargano, but I don't think Gargano's that far behind him that Gargano couldn't honestly challenge and hold a world title.
He could, but
my question to yours,
Tom said, what is the other dude's name?
Ciampa,
yeah.
So my question to y'all is, y'all wouldn't see like somewhat of a like not a conflict, but just, I don't know, like it kind of feeling out of place having Undisputed Era on the main roster going against big guys like Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, you know, Cesaro, like them having like their feuds with them, like, because, you know, I love Undisputed Era for what they were in NXT and to see them in Indies, but it's like to see them on the main roster and then like have Adam Cole be like a world champion.
This is why
think about Undisputed Era versus the Judgment Day.
Let me explain what he size. I know Keith already wants to, but let me explain.
No. I personally, I'm never gonna like downplay somebody's opinion. I don't agree with it, but because I'm like, that's like it goes back to that whole thing where all people want to see is big dudes in wrestling. That's all they want to explain this,
and that's why I want to explain this. That's why.
And I feel like that makes that like you have to have that contrast of little guy, big guy. Look at Rey Mysterio for years. You know what I mean? Like Rey for years was that little guy beating on everybody bigger than him, overcoming.
Let me explain that.
You know what I mean? So it's like.
But you know, Keys, I'm a fan of you. You already know I don't like light heavyweights, only like heavyweights and stuff like that. But with them, the Undisputed Era, you could tell stories like that. You could tell like the Hart Foundation. You could chop down the tree. You could chop down Braun Strowman. You could chop down Roman Reigns, or you could chop down a Brock Lesnar, like AJ Styles, like Daniel Bryanson, and like Finn Balor did with Brock Lesnar. They chopped him down to where he has to. And that's what they could do, because when they did that thing on NXT with Drew, they jumped him and look, they chopped him down and got him hurt and injured. That's what they would have done in the main roster right now with Triple H. That would work.
Remember, that was a faction. So for Adam Cole to get the World Heavyweight title, he's not going to win the title clean, of course. Him beating Roman Reigns, He's not gonna beat Roman Reigns in a clean match. What's gonna happen?
Right.
Undisputed Era is gonna get involved. They're gonna take out the bloodline. They'll get involved.
Right, but here's the thing.
Cole wins the title.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, though. That's when the thing about it is like, again, I'm all for like my favorite wrestler on the roster, like my two favorite wrestlers on the roster, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor. Finn Balor, like like Roman Reigns, he's already gotten he's at his place where he's getting his due. I'm like, yo, I always believed in Roman ever since he's with the Shield. Now I'm waiting for Finn Balor to get his run. Like those are my two favorite wrestlers. Finn Balor is like 210. Or like, no, I think he's like 195 and he's like 6 feet tall or something like that. He's a small guy. You know what I'm saying?
I forgot about that. Finn Balor, I forgot about. That's another.
But you know what I'm saying? My thing about it is I do like small guys, big guys, don't matter. My thing is this is that I still have the issue with guys like Big Show and guys like Omos who legitimately could beat somebody as small as Adam Cole, not having dominating runs, right? So not saying that it always has to happen. And we see these moments where you see like smaller guys like Bobby Lashley dominate like Omos. And it's like, it's believable, but come on, like there has to be a moment where Omos just runs through Bobby like it ain't no problem. But the thing about it is, my bad, Henry, I'll let you talk. But the thing about it is that when I look at Undisputed Era, like these guys are like, you know, five whatever, right? And they're like 100 and something pounds. And you're talking about them like having like this dominating run on the main roster with a heavyweight title. Like, I mean, like to see it will be like, okay, but then it comes to a point where it's just like, you know, it's just like, well,
to steal a phrase from Sean, yeah, Undisputed Era are small, but they can go. That's one of Sean's phrases.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's a storyline, though. You get like this is my opinion. So I do not want to see those Finn Balor dominate, or it's about like chopping down the tree, telling a story. Like,
and I'm
if
telling
they beat
you,
him clean with flips and stuff like that, hell no, man. Come on.
Adam Cole.
We got
Adam Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Cole is Shawn Michaels of this era, bro.
All right, so
Shawn Michaels a little bit more muscle, had more muscle, man. That man
so
is
Lene, all right, so Lene wants to know, how do you guys feel about Liv Morgan?
I like it, man. I like it.
I think my opinion of Liv Morgan is I think that the dude that Liv Morgan got, I'm happy for the fact that she held on to the women's title. I'm happy for her. Her having the woman once she got the title, right? It was like, okay, she has a title, she did good, but is she a superstar? Like when I look at like Naomi, right? Like when Naomi got that world title, like she did something that was like never done before. Like she had the whole glow gimmick. Like that was fire. She had a glow on the belt, like she put the glow on a belt, like she took a character to the next level. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what Naomi did was like amazing, right? Then you got like Becky Lynch, right? When Becky Lynch had that opportunity to be in the ring with John Cena and had that moment, like she took a character to the next level. Like Liv Morgan has that opportunity to do so. I think Liv Morgan is still in development. I don't think she's like a main eventer. I don't think she's one of those people that I would sit there and say, oh, let's book her as a main event wrestler, because when she was a main event, or when she had the main event against, you know, Ronda Rousey, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like whatever. But you know, there's other females I would rather see in the main event, like Shayna Baszler, like Rhea Ripley, like Charlotte Flair, like who else? I'll be honest with you. Even Sonya Deville, like Sonya Deville has a potential to be better than Liv.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, this woman say this is how we can get
Facts.
Liv over.
I just like the fact that they.
What?
I like Liv over.
I like the fact that Liv was like one of the last two. She started at number 2 and was the last one eliminated. So I like how they kind of didn't bury her. They kind of made her, you know, kept her being a little strong a little bit.
But you know how you could get her more over, man? If she go back to her sneakers. I bet you everybody would like her, man. She go back to
Jordans, the ones.
Yeah, the ones, yeah. I bet.
But my thing with Liv is, I don't know, man. I see it. It took me a minute at first, like when she won the Rumble. No, was it Money in the Bank? Yeah.
Money in the Bank, yeah.
I didn't see it. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm going into that. I didn't. She won Money in the Bank. She got the title. I think her title run was dope. They messed it up by putting her against Ronda. Everybody did. Right. It had nothing to do with her. It was everything to do with Ronda. It didn't matter who you put Ronda against. Ronda's gonna win. You have to dumb down how you wrestle for Ronda because she sucks.
And we had that conversation with Emma when Emma came in.
Are you trying to say that Liv Morgan is better?
Yes. Yes.
No,
Ronda is, bro.
Please.
I'm a
name one classic. Name one classic.
I'm not sure. Why you keep asking me about classics?
Name one good match, bro. Listen. We had it. What I'm saying is, name one good because you're saying she's a good wrestler. You're saying she's a great wrestler. You're saying that she's deserving of it.
I didn't say
she was doing
great.
With the Riot Squad.
Now you're not listening. Now you're not listening.
With the Riot Squad.
I never said great. I said she's better than Ronda. Ronda is ass in the ring.
She's way better than Ronda.
Ronda is everybody has the what's her name?
Ronda is ass.
Emma.
She is.
Emma just came in. She had a match with Ronda, and anybody who's watched Emma in Impact, Emma was putting on dope matches in Impact. She had to dumb down in the ring, and you could clearly see that she did in the ring with Ronda. Everybody has to do it because she can't. Ronda honestly cannot keep up with anybody. Even a Liv, y'all, you say Liv's not that good. She even Liv had to dumb down the little that she does do for Ronda because Ronda is ass.
Right.
But she had other opponents though besides Ronda when she had.
And she did not have bad matches with them though. That's the thing,
bro. Those matches are not like
Ronda
spectacular. They were. I'm sorry, Jay. But out of five, like, listen. All right. Yo, Jay, you know how much Jay, and Sean, Henry, y'all know, even in the chat, y'all know how much I hated Charlotte Flair. I hated Charlotte. I hated Charlotte. But the thing about it is but at the same time, I always gave Charlotte her due. I was like, yo, but Charlotte will put on a match. I just got tired of seeing in the heavyweight championship picture, but she became my hero because she took that belt for Ronda. Now I was like, Charlotte, I love you. You know what I'm saying? But again, you know what I'm saying? But I give her but she was great in the ring. When I thought about the best women on the roster that would give you a match, Charlotte was there. Like I'm not a biased person. But Liv, and we talking about a person that's gonna give you, listen, I do see the potential. I do see the potential. And Liv, and my idea for Liv would be if Liv went and played heavy on that what's that Harley Quinn character. She played heavy on that Harley Quinn character.
I think
that'll be the thing. Like that'll put her over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But my thing with Liv, I'm like, you know what? We need that moment where Liv doesn't dumb down her abilities in the ring, where she's going against a Rhea Ripley who don't dumb.
Right. All right. So, Brian Ford says WWE definitely got the ball on Aleister Black. He also says Johnny Gargano is losing luster to him, which I kind of agree. Johnny's kind of in limbo. He doesn't have that sparky. Yeah. Cole is dope. Like really, he says UE versus JD would actually work. Actually pretty dope. Now the thing about that, and also he also says Finn definitely needs his just due.
Yeah.
Now the thing with the UE versus Judgment Day will be amazing is you can actually go back and we all talk about long-term storytelling. You can even go back and say and the main thing about it would be that Finn actually tried to they can play on like Finn's the reason why Undisputed Era initially broke up because that's when Kyle O'Reilly was like it's kind of extended to Finn, and that's when Cole super kicked him. So they can actually go back to that and be like, yo, so I extended my hand to you to try to look out for you, and this is what you do now. We about to show you how we really do. That would be dope. And Lene says Butch versus Roman. She wants to see Butch versus Roman.
Who the fuck is Butch?
Are you talking about Pete Dunne?
Pete Dunne.
Yeah, it goes back to Pete Dunne.
If Pete Dunne was Pete Dunne, yeah.
Pete Dunne.
Pete Dunne. We had the Bruiserweight, but not Butch.
I'm like, Butch. I'm like, yo, who the hell
Hey, you
is
sure that was
Butch?
an ant saying that? You
He
sure
said
that was
that's
an ant
Butch.
saying that? You sure
Yeah,
that was
Ant
an
didn't
ant
know.
saying that?
Ant didn't know who Butch was.
I ain't know. I'm like, Butch. Who the fuck is Butch?
I was thinking that I was
Because
almost
Ant be
thinking
saying
that
stuff
like
like that,
Butch,
man.
but I was like, oh, okay, Pete Dunne. Nah, we got the
Yeah,
bruiserweight.
Dunne,
Then yeah, Dunne. Yeah, absolutely.
Bruiserweight, yeah. Because he would
But
just,
not this dude come out there.
I
Yeah,
think,
not
I
this
think,
dude.
I think if Cody wins, man, some opportunities. If Cody wins, they can. I wouldn't even mind they doing the hot potato on the world title, to be honest. If Cody wins, so because you could get bangers with that, with Finn Balor getting his due, Kevin Owens getting his due, Sami Zayn getting his due.
Right, the belt can actually, be, other people can actually get it like legit champion.
Exactly. If Cody wins, I don't mind that hot potato. We haven't seen that in a while since
for 800 and some days.
Right.
No, not even that, because Brock Lesnar held that shit. So
well, the thing about the thing about Roman,
Lesnar,
the thing about Roman even holding the title, I mean, it's just like this. It was like an unspoken thing. The reason why Roman held that title for so long was because it took so long for Vince to get him over. So it was like we finally got him over as a heel. Let's keep the belt on him as much as we can as possible, to build that heat because we want him to be the face. And now he is, you know what I'm saying? And it's amazing. It's awesome. I love it. But I kind of agree with you, Henry. I think it should be like limited to like 6 months, 8-month reigns, something like that. Not like short to whereas like they hold the belt for like 3 months, like the Attitude Era. I hated that where they had the belt for like a month or like 2 months.
The Rock deserved a longer reign.
Or
The Rock deserved a longer reign.
Like
The Rock deserved a longer reign.
Like you got like when you had the Cena versus Edge feud when they exchanged belts every month.
Yeah,
you had Cena versus
Randy
Orton. Sasha and Charlotte when they exchanged the belt every Sasha win the belt, but she can't never defend it.
Right, exactly.
I think like 4 to 6 months. Yeah, nah, 6 months is too much, man. Now, because we're so used to this long reign. I'll say 3 to 4 months, and then somebody else like at least give them 90 days, 100 and whatever days. Just
Cody's holding that belt for a year.
You think so?
Hell yeah.
I don't think he's gonna have it for a year. I think maybe a couple months, and I don't think Cody's gonna hold it for a year.
I think he should get it. I think he should hold the belt for like a year.
A year?
Or maybe like 8 months. I feel like
maybe 6 to 8 months. Yeah, but not a year
like that. Yeah, but no, I definitely agree. But I definitely agree with you, Henry. Like, I think that's one of the reasons why I would want Sami Zayn to win the belt. Like, give him his moment in the sun. Let him hold the belt for 6 to 8 months, and then he'll lose the belt at SummerSlam or Night of Champions or something like that. But give him his due. But I'm gonna be honest with you. My honest opinion about Sami is, I feel like if they put that belt on Sami, his run is going to be a lot better than than what's going to be expected. That's just my opinion. Like Sami has been working his storylines. Like it's the way, it's that thing I've been mentioning, just taking that character to the next level, with your own initiative. Like he's taking that initiative, right? And it's not WWE working the booking working the storyline for him. It's this guy taking this right. You know what I'm saying? Like with John Cena, like with Austin,
from
like
his face expressions, body language.
Right.
Hold on, got some breaking news for you guys.
What?
Kota Ibushi leaves New Japan Pro Wrestling and is now a free agent.
He's going to
the conclusion of his contract period on January 31st, 2023. Kota Ibushi has departed New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Ibushi has been recovering from his injury since October 2021.
Yeah, that's not. I ain't gonna say it's not break. I'm not gonna say it's not breaking news, but it's one of them things that's been out there for the last couple months that when his contract was up, because of the issues he's had with New Japan, that he wasn't re-signed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a given he's going to AEW.
And
that's Kenny's.
So I don't know. I don't know if this makes sense. But The Rock has a new shirt on WWEshop.com. Team Bring It. I don't know if that's newsworthy.
It's gonna be Austin and The Rock probably. If they're gonna do something with The Rock, it's gonna be Austin versus The Rock. or an Angle or something like
Oh
that.
God, I don't want to see that again. That chapter's closed. Let's keep it closed. It's done. What's done is done. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only other person out of the big three I want to see The Rock go with is Triple H. I felt like they should have had that match.
They should have. They should have.
They should have. But
instead of that fatal 4-way, they should have had him and I mean, I understand the fatal 4-way. I mean, well, I didn't really understand why Big Show was in there because of just the Royal Rumble shit. Yes, but Big Show, they could have done a triple threat.
That was Vince's idea. Triple H and The Rock spoke about it. They said we wanted it to be a singles match. They said we wanted it to be a singles match. They had it planned out. It was like singles match. It was going to be me and The Rock, and Triple H was going to win, with interference, and that was it. And then Vince was like, "No, we're going to do a fatal 4-way." Triple H and Vince spoke about it. I mean, Triple H and Rock spoke about it. They said it was supposed to be but that was. Vince wanted to do something big for WrestleMania 2000.
What's crazy is that The Rock WrestleMania history. The Rock was the biggest star there, man. The biggest star, man, and that no wonder why he left, man. No wonder why he left to Hollywood, because man, he could have. He had a shitty ass reign. Triple H had longer reign than him. Stone Cold had longer reign than him. Yeah. Fucking Kurt Angle had longer reigns than him.
Yeah.
Fucking even Jericho had a longer reign than him.
Yeah. No, it's true.
The Rock dirty. They did The Rock dirty.
They did.
I think his longest reign was like 4 months.
It did.
His longest reign was probably like 2 months.
No, it was 4. It was 4.
It really?
4 months.
Yeah, it was 4. It was after he beat Angle for the belt. That's when he had his longest reign.
I thought he beat Angle in No Way Out, and then No Way Out he lost it to Austin.
No Mercy. He lost the belt to Angle at No Mercy after he beat. So after his match against Triple H on Judgment Day, after they had that Iron Man match, the next pay-per-view, or I think it was like a Raw pay-per-view, he lost the belt. I mean, he won the belt back from Triple H. Then he held the belt for like a month or 2 months, and then he lost the belt to Angle. And then Angle, he lost the belt to Angle. Angle held the belt for like maybe 6 months, like 5 months. Then The Rock took the belt off of him
on No Way Out.
Yeah, right. No Way Out. I'm bugging. You're right. So exactly. Before he lost the belt to Angle, he had a 4-month reign.
Okay.
And then he lost the belt to after he took the belt from Triple H. After that Judgment Day pay-per-view, he held the belt for 4 months. Angle took the belt off of him after having a 5-month reign. Then he held the belt for like a month or 2 months, and then he lost the belt at WrestleMania to Austin. Yeah, right. You're right.
But those 4 months, 4 months, I don't know if you remember those 4 months. He had bangers, man. He had with
Yeah, with Chris Benoit. Yeah, that was it was fire, man. Yeah.
All right.
I remember that.
So Lene says Roman Reigns doesn't really need a title to solidify himself as a champion. He already made a name for himself as Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Brian Ford says Sami Zayn with the belt. I don't know.
I mean, I don't need
Lene
it,
says
but
Triple H.
I want to give him the due.
And Lene says Triple H and Vince doesn't want Sami as the face of the company. And Brian says Triple H is done. Health, we know this, but we need the official head of the table match. And what I have on the screen now is the new Sami Zayn T-shirt.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's
gonna be real interesting. Right now, they don't have any youth sizes.
Crazy.
Let me ask y'all a question real quick. Because I seen a video. I think I'm gonna put in the chat. I'm gonna put in the group, and this dude actually gave like one of the great like best breakdowns. But real quick, I'm gonna just run through it real quick. But he was saying like he broke down like the Sami Zayn and the whole portrayal of Sami Zayn, right? And he said that his perspective of the whole situation that of Sami Zayn portraying Roman Reigns, it wasn't really about Sami, it's about Jey Uso. And right. and he put in the context like the same manipulative tactics that Roman Reigns used to get Jey Uso to join in the table was the same manipulative tactics that Roman Reigns tried to use on Sami Zayn at the Royal Rumble, where the reason why Jey joined was because when Roman was beating up Jey Uso in that match they had at Hell in a Cell, Jimmy wanted him to stop. So in order for him to stop, he joined. So then the same thing with with Sami and Kevin, like the way he was beating up Kevin, right? So I thought that was very interesting. But then also the fact that Sammy really would go to the lengths of portraying Roman Reigns when Kevin Owens has always betrayed Sami Zayn. He betrayed him like 3 or 4 times. Like he tried to, like when Sami Zayn won the NXT title, like he tried to end his career. But what I think will be crazy though, and tell me what y'all think about this. What I think will be crazy is if on SmackDown they actually play a tape of all the times Kevin Owens betrayed Sami Zayn. And then Roman kind of poises it, positions it like, this is the guy you betrayed your family for. This is the guy you betrayed. This guy that betrayed you all your career.
Well, we got to think about it. Sami Zayn, I mean, Kevin Owens betrays all his best friends. Sami Zayn, Chris Jericho, anybody who stated that Kevin Owens was their best friend, he betrayed. It's just Seth, you know what I'm saying? The New Day. So Sami Zayn betrays everybody. So that's just in his his DNA. Yeah, Kevin Owens betrays everybody. That's just in his DNA. But like I said, I think it's gonna be real interesting on SmackDown.
You know what's pretty cool? I could add that side. I could add that. Let's say they do show a clip of that, right? Mm-hmm. But Roman would be like, you know how Roman did with Jay. He'd be like, well, we can bring you in. I'll give you another chance. You know how like that manipulated mafia shit or manipulated shit. I'll bring you in, and then then at the end, Sammy does something to get over again, and I mean that could happen. I mean, but we'll see on SmackDown.
Right.
So,
all right, guys.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Last question. So you guys are kind of like still. I mean, so y'all ain't really feeling Sammy with the belt.
I mean, I ain't, to be honest. I already told Keys I see him as a over mid Carter, like Roddy Piper, like even RVD. There's people like that. I don't really see him holding the title. To give him his due, yeah. If you want to give him his due, go ahead. Like hot potato, yeah. But other than being the face, being the guy that goes to all these late talk shows and stuff like that, no, I don't see him. I mean, he could be like a Mankind where he gets a good run, but other than that, I don't see him holding any title holding the world heavyweight title that long.
Right. All right, guys. So we are at the 2-hour mark. We definitely thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for lighting up the comment section. You guys definitely held it down. We definitely appreciate you.
Where Trav went? He left and never came back.
He never came back. I don't know what happened with Trav. But we definitely thank you guys. And again, for you guys watching this show on YouTube and Facebook, we are on live on Wednesdays at 1:00 on the Block 105. You can download the Live 365 radio app to listen to it, or you can go to the Block. You can Google the Block 105, but the Live 360 radio radio app is the easier way of doing it. And as always, we always here every Tuesday at 9 p.m. So definitely check us out. So we definitely thank you guys for the love and support. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to support your boys, the Newton, for Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and sign off. I have been your host, Jay McMahon. Let me move this around so we can do this.
And it's your boy Saheem the Dream.
Who's next?
It's Sean Keys. He's not saying Sean Keys, but he's showing his muscles. It's Sean Keys.
The bicep duel.
Your IWC villain Handuce.
Uh-oh.
The big bat booty daddy.
All right, guys.
You already know, man.
And we will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace.